So what are you going to talk about, Mr. Rangerman? So I get asked quite a lot about my GW-B5600, the Bluetooth tough solar on a resin bracelet. And the question is this a good G-Shock? If you're looking for a compact G-Shock that does it all, then this is the one. There is some various different models of this one where they have the positive display and the bezel in different colors. Now, some of you actually say and sort of have a little moan that its Bluetooth connectivity is just a little bit OTT. Well, think about this. Have you ever adjusted a G-Shock at night, especially the alarm? Well, when it's connected to Bluetooth, you're using your device, and your device has its own backlight. It has a big screen, so setting it up is very easy. So have that side to consider. The one thing I really like about this G-Shock is that it's kept its form to the original. Now, I have a DW5200 here, and they are very, very similar in size, as you can see. The difference is more about the bezel here. It has these raised parts here where protection is and where G-Shock is. And if you look on the original bezel, it is very flat indeed. Now, I'm preferring this sort of more vintage style, and I know that on the full stainless version that the bezel is all brushed and is all very flat. So what have I done to fix that? I went on eBay and had a look for a new bezel, and I came across a seller called Level 1000. He has 100% over 5,000 sales, and he's based in Spain. His packing is beyond mine. Now that was an incredible thing to unpack. I spoke to the seller a few times to say that I am going to be doing a little review. So he said, well, if you're doing a review and you're going to give me a little shout out, then you can have this very special box. And so let's see what he has included. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I've also got a little keeper there as well. A really nice anodized screwdriver. But the main thing is this part here. This is the bezel that I've ordered, and it's all in DLC coating. So it's really hard indeed. Now, I do like the packaging and the care that this seller has gone into. I must say that it did take a while to unbox, but I have to say it was a work of art what he actually done. And to me, that is attention to detail, and it shows that he takes a lot of care over what he sells. He's also included the bezel screws, and in black. And also, these are crossheads, which is really keeping it to the original. And if you're watching Level 1000, I want to say a huge thank you for this addition. I wasn't expecting any of that. Now, I really do like that colour, and that it's crosshead, and that it's going to fit the screws on this one here. So let's just get on with it and remove all those bezel screws. So that's the bezel removed. I now need to unpack the new one. Oh my word. It is just like, well, it's the finish on the top part of the bezel is brushed, and it has a sheen to it, and it is very identical to the original full stainless steel version. I like that the sides all have the polished finish as well, and I say this is DLC black coated, so it is really going to be strong for those G-Shock knocks. Anyway, because it's so new and so fresh, I'm going to put my finger condoms, because I just don't want to get my fingerprints on it while I'm filming. Got my finger doms. Right, is this. So let's have a little look at the differences between these bezels, and first off is going to be where the buttons is. Because stainless steel doesn't flex, it needs to just drop down, and so this has the bottom edge there. This also has this unusual sort of mold that goes straight through the button, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Now looking on the side here, looks like this part here is slightly wider. You have a bit more thickness on this side opposed to that side if you look. Now on the other side, this part here just looks a little bit bigger on the stainless version. And on the inside, it looks pretty much all the same. Now this does have a little G there, so that's the ends. So this should just be a very simple fit like that. So let me get the screws in and I'll get some really good shots. The original screw on the B5600 is a crosshead, and now I've got the crossheads on my GW-B5600. So what are my impressions now I've got all the screws in? Well, I've got to say that this is now become one of my favourite G-Shocks. It's incredible how it's transformed, and I must say that I did have two of the full stainless steel versions, the B5000s, because they were so blingy and they're just too gorgeous for me. So I ended up just flipping them, and I just feel a lot better because I really do use my G-Shocks and I do knock them around a bit, and it just felt such a shame to get those all scratched up. Whereas this with the resin bracelet, it's just so much easier. It's just less to worry about, and plus I like the all black as well, and I have to say that this is really looking good, really looking good, and pushing the buttons is actually a lot easier. That is, yeah, I have to say that if anything, do it so you can actually push the buttons. Well, you probably don't push the buttons that much because you're doing it all through the Bluetooth. But anyway, that is really incredible. Anyway, so thanks again to Level 1000 for your fantastic service. Now I understand why you have 100%. That is the time. That is the steel bezel time. And as always, thanks for watching.